What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce, and our brother from another mother in another country, Manny, being Manny 1.0 from the 2Thicc pod. How you going?
What's up? I'm pumped. I'm excited. Like, you guys asked me to be on the podcast a couple days ago, and I've been waiting for this. I love joining you guys. I love the comments afterwards that people making fun of my accent down there. So it's good. I love it. I love everyone. I want to go visit Australia soon. Except the
It's
spider.
good to have you. Well, it's good to have you back on. If for people listening for the first time, we've had Manny on before. He's actually hosted a show with the Great Man Sauce.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously,
Give
the
you a
first
love.
person to give a double coverage host a Le Mans
Yeah.
himself when he thought he had the right to. I don't know where he thought he got that power from, but
Hey, he just pulled it out of the blue, mate. He didn't even give me any pre-warning. He's just gone, whack, I'm coming on the show and I'm giving you, Dom, a Le Mans. I just ran with it. I just ran with it.
It was worth it. I almost won it.
You nearly won it. I was going to say, you made it far in the voting for the end of year of Le Mans of the year. You got deep.
Yeah, I know. It was worth
I think
it.
the
But
fans agreed with Manny based off the voting. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it was a fair
They just do it to
cause.
piss me off. But we're here pretty much to just have a chat today. We're not going to get too businessy. Manny's been doing a lot, obviously, with his podcast and his content creation, and he's been going to a fair few shows. We just want to hit him up, see what's happening. If you listen to the 2Thicc pod, you'll be up to date with a lot of it. But some things Manny probably can't say on the show that he can say on ours because he doesn't want to offend Jeremy. So
Rick.
Hey, we didn't say it. We didn't drop the first Rick. It was Manuel.
Very nice. What's been happening? Talk to us.
Man, card shows galore. I feel like I've been at a card show every weekend. I just got back 2 weeks ago from Mint in Vegas. And, it's not a normal card show. You probably heard this. It's like an industry card show. Like, people are marketing themselves. A lot of you Australians over there know Cherry. He was over there. It's funny with Grayson because his hair gets all messed up worse and worse every day.
It's like he's been electrocuted. That's literally.
He's out partying too much.
He wakes up in the morning and he puts his finger in the freaking electrical socket, gets a shock. It looks like the Doc from Back to the Future half the time.
I think you're right. So I love going to these big shows and seeing him. Like I said, the first day he's like very professional. His hair's done. By Sunday when he's about to leave,
especially because it's in Vegas, you know what I mean? There's probably a couple of late nights and a few beverages, one too many, I'm sure, in the city that never sleeps.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it was fun. I met a lot of people, heard a lot of things. One podcast doesn't exist now, so because of Mitt. But yeah, it was fun. And then we also went to our local shows. And with the local shows that are more like the card show environment, there's a lot of people there. A lot. Like, people are saying, if you go on Instagram and people are like, the hobby's dead. No, there's a lot of people.
I've seen someone in the States that just recently started following us because Saucy commented on one of his reels. I forget his name. Sauce, you might remember. You might be able to hit him up. But he put a thing in his story. He went to like a vintage car show. And he genuinely, at the car show, set up a card store, like at a car show.
That's
so
sweet.
It was crazy. It was like a car show and collectibles type thing, but it was mainly for like vintage cars. And it's like food, drinks, collectibles, blah, blah, blah. And he set up cards at this. I wish we had that, man. Like, you just go to some random market and then there's just cards. Well, Caribbean market was like that here in Victoria. It was a bit
there
like that.
is still a bit of that going on, but there's more and more card shops popping up here, Doma, which is good for the hobby, which is good to see in general. But I'll just take it back to the Mint for a second because as we say that there's more and more card shops, if that's something is that the type of an event if you've got a brick and mortar store and you need to make connections with these industry people that are going to help you whether it be get product or make your store better, that's the event to go to, because the access to these sort of people is, should you pay for the appropriate ticket, and there was a level of ticket system that allows you to get into certain areas and things like that. You had the access to talk to these people, and you could further your business. You would say that's the truth.
Yeah, for sure. If you're in it for your business, if you want to like improve on your business, this is the place. They have like a I didn't pay this $600 ticket to go to these panels. And at these panels, you had like the first panel was like, Bullpen LA, a big card store.
Yep.
With Grayson, and they were doing a panel about how to build a brick and mortar store and giving advice, and people were asking questions. You had Panini like there, you had Tops there, you had Fanatics there. I could walk around, and I do want to say it is in that type of environment, but there's also a mixture of a card show. Like you could go and buy like some big cards there. I seen Mickey Mantles, I seen like the top-notch Jordans there, and there were some like dollar boxes. So it was a card show, but prior to that was those panels. You could learn a lot, and
just a massive networking show.
Yes,
really
getting your name out there. There's a lot of people like, because on my Instagram it's just a cartoon picture of me. They'll be like, "Oh, Manny," and then they connect the dots. We gain a relationship. They DM me afterwards, and we're kind of talking on Instagram now, because of this one show. So it is a good way to get your name out there. I advise you to next year, if you can make it, go to the national and go to the Mint.
We go to the Mint, we might not come back alive, mate.
That's okay.
We can't go to any of these card shows now, I don't think. Like
you guys won't. You'll come back alive. I got your back.
We're blocked by so many of these Le Mans because they can't take any criticism.
Yeah, but no one knows who one of them is. So you could be blocked by anonymous if you want.
We're up to about 5 or 6 now. So
yeah. I don't know.
What it. We'll see them in person too. And then the problem is they think like we're doing it for like for clout. We'll genuinely just tell them like, listen, you stuffed up, man. Like we've done it to people here in Australia. We told them straight to their face, like you should have probably just done it this way. You shouldn't have done it that way. Like,
yeah, people have soft skin, but all those people that blocked you, all those people that blocked you weren't at this event. I'll tell you that because I know the people that block you. So
yeah, because they're nobodies.
Exactly. They're
like us. That's why we're at the event.
No, you guys are the best.
Also, that's one reason. The other reason is Grayson couldn't fit us on his private jet to get us over there. So
yeah, he said next year he'd get us on the private jet. So
Sauce's boot
on the G6 private jet over to Vegas.
Way too much for the private.
He's gonna kill us, man. If he listens to this, he's gonna freaking murder us. What the hell are you idiots on about?
Yeah. Well, he called me an idiot. He said that I was your gay lover at
so. Hey, it's not our fault that everyone loves us, man.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
So it is what it is, but I'm glad you had a good time there and you got to network, and that leads us into
made a few deals.
Growth. Yeah, that leads into a couple things. Deals, first of all, in what you're collecting, and then we'll get on to the next part with like that networking to growing your brand. But so your deals, what are you collecting at the moment? We know you've done the big switch up.
Oh yeah.
People that don't follow you, they're about to find out you done a huge switch up. So
yeah. So I was collecting soccer, not because of the World Cup, because I actually enjoy soccer. We talk about it on a daily basis about how my Chelsea shit is horrible right now, and we're going to get relegated. But I PC Federico Chiesa, so I look for him all the time. But I switched to TCG type cards like Dragon Ball Z, My Hero, and when I say TCG, it's more of the anime side, not the Pokemon side, because when you think TCG, most people think Magic, they think Pokemon. I can't get into that, but I am getting into anime because you guys got me into it, and same with Brandon Bro Namath on Instagram. You guys both got a hold of me. I was like, you guys need to start watching this. I watched Demon Slayer, was hooked. So I got some of his cards. I got Dragon Ball Z cards, One Piece cards. I even got a little bit of those Kakawao cards before the pump. I got them at like $150, $65 a box USD. And then I opened them, pulled a Woody auto, and got it graded.
Facsimile. The Woody facsimile.
Yeah, and I sold the box. So I got it so
Printed on
early that
order.
I sold one of my boxes for $300, and I was like, that's insane. So I was selling it before it got to the peak. So
That's
man,
all right. You still
went to the moon,
your
man. It
profit.
went to the
Tell us
moon.
about that. That was your first experience putting what you thought was a pretty high value card, which in the end it did go not too bad. You did pretty good out of it.
Mhm.
And I will say, admittedly, you came to me with these Cacoal Disney boxes, and I laughed in your face, Manny. I laughed in your face, and I said, "What the hell is this rubbish?
Look at that.
What is this rubbish?"
Oh,
And I laughed in your face, and let me just tell you, you're the last one laughing because
I mean, when I first looked at them, they look like Prism, and I told you that. Remember, I was like, these kind of look like Prism cards. I don't know if they're going to get in trouble, but there's only 4,000 cases, so I was like, I'm going to buy a couple. My daughter
Are you going to buy the new set? The Weiss?
the fun.
Is it Weiss, the new one?
No, because
there's the fun.
Yeah,
as well.
I might buy it when it goes down right now. It's getting up there because it just sold. But when it comes down, I'll probably buy it just to rip with my daughter. I'm not looking to make money. I wasn't even looking to make money on these Cocoa cards. I was like, it'd be a fun rip with my daughter. And there's an Instagram video of me ripping it with my daughter. And I didn't know how valuable these were gonna be. And I'm letting her rip them with me. So
That's good. But that's the whole thing. It's just good fun, and it just happened to take off. And
if it takes off, you got to sell it.
You put it into TCG now. Like,
yeah,
you're still going to buy more stuff to rip with your daughter in the future. So you didn't know
it's
the
fun.
great Le Mans tree of Le Mans were going to band together and pump it to the moon. Like,
Let's go.
The Le Mans tree.
Yeah.
They all ripened at the same time. Let me just tell you that.
Well, like every Le Mans, it gets to a point where it all sours up, and at the moment, it's pretty sour because they're not pumping that product anymore.
It's because I sold that
into
Woody.
the ether.
I sold that Woody on eBay, and it didn't go for what they thought it went for, and then no one talked about it afterwards.
I know everyone was pumping that Woody. Oh, there's a Woody BGS 95. This is the best thing ever, and then they're just gone. Oh, maybe it's actually not worth what all the influencers are telling us. Yeah, no shit.
Well, if that went for 800, then a PSA 10, PSA 10's 0.5 better. So technically PSA 10 should go for at least, 1,500 based off what people pay for that extra 0.5 of, bit of plastic that's attached there.
You would think that though, but when I showed people the card, they were like, that's going to go for 5,000. That's going to go for 4,000, 3,000.
I thought it would go for 2,000 the way people were talking about it. I was
the
like,
way that it was getting pumped like
2,000.
crazy.
Yeah.
The product was getting just...
800 is still good, man. Like,
it is.
800 is still very good. So you'll be happy with that.
Box for once, he said.
Yeah, 165, and I made it
165. You hit the card, like...
I sold the other cards too. So I was in, like I was telling you so early, that the base cards were going for like 20 to 30 bucks a piece. So I was selling base cards. I was selling the refractors. I had a Steamboat stamp that sold for almost 200 bucks. So
you can't complain, man. You can't complain. You take that every day of the week.
It was that when
people were making bank.
This guy's making bank.
They were telling me, you don't make $5,000, blah, blah, blah. I was like getting all hyped at the mint because
selling bloody. Well, show me some of those cards.
Why did you get so much?
Yeah, I don't know who half these Le Mans are. And my missus loves Disney.
If only you had the card at the mint. Sounds like everyone was so hyped at the mint. You could have sold it straight there at the mint.
So yeah, the day I left, the guys that did the grading for me, they got the card as I was boarding my plane. Because I was like, is there a way you could send it to the hotel like next day so then I could have it at mint? Because I would have been able to sell it for like that much there because everyone was like hyped on it if I did that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. Anyway, you killed it on
you move on.
So yeah, exactly right. Exactly. You got bigger and better things to come now in the TCG space, which obviously will get people to watch this space too, because Manny's always posting stuff and buying stuff. But the other thing as well was the growth of the podcast. So you network with a lot of people at Mint. So give us a bit of a rundown there, because you are now the biggest podcast in the United States.
I don't know about the biggest. We're the stupidest podcast, the craziest.
Hey, most enjoyable to listen to at the moment.
Yeah, thank you, because we're relatable, I guess, is what people told me. I don't know how that is. People like to hear me lose and lose
You're
money.
Normal.
Yeah, normal and tell the truth as well.
But it's not 2020, and not every freaking card you buy goes up, mate. It's not how it works. Like, that was like the golden era, mate. You could buy a base card one week, and next week some Lemon is paying you double the money, even triple the money. Like, it was just ridiculous. And I think everyone just needs to understand that sometimes you're gonna take some losses. Even myself, I've had losses. Like, it's just that's how it works.
I take losses. I took a loss buying from Dama's advice, by the way. Here, I'll tell people this Chiesa, I just showed them before. I think I paid, what did I pay? Like was it 280? 180?
280.
280.
Was it 280?
It was 280 or 180. But remember, I got the card, graded it, and came back, and then it was like one of the cards sold for like $80. But I enjoy because I'm going to keep. But there's a loss. I don't care.
Yeah, that's right. He made it back in selling 10. He made it back selling 10 Disney Kakawel base cards.
Yeah, you're right.
$25 a pop.
You're right. No,
the 10 different Le Mans. So he's all right. It is a loss. I just saw
he was the Le Mans on that one, because he took the loss. But I mean, at the end of the day, at least you've got a number to 10 great card that's a gold, right?
And it got a 10, and Manny bought that raw, so that's the other thing too. He bought that raw, and it came back as a SGC.
I think
10.
at the time also when he bought that was quite a while ago, when the market was still
a bit more
hype than what it was
November.
Now. You know what I mean?
It was November last year.
Yeah,
because it was at the Adelaide,
the lead up to the World Cup, and stuff like that.
Don't say lead up to World Cup. Italy wasn't in it.
Italy wasn't in it. This shit.
That's your guys'.
Because Jorginho, sources made at Arsenal, missed the penalty when he was at Chelsea, your shit club.
No, he's with their shit club now.
But he missed the penalty when he was at your club.
Can't keep a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, well, I know Arsenal just struggling a bit at the moment.
Shut up. Back to your TCG, all right? Back to your TCG.
No, so back to the podcast. The podcast is growing. We started last year. And going to these events, like, I know it kind of like sucks for you guys because you're not in the States where all the big companies are, all like the influencers are. So it's harder to make that connection with people, right? We made a connection because I'm always talking to you guys, trying to make you laugh in your DMs. So, and WhatsApp. So, but it's harder for you guys, which your guys' growth is amazing, by the way, because I hear people talking about you guys in the States. So you guys, your outreach is all the way here, which is amazing. But Mint, I made it a point with Jeremy, because I wasn't going to any of these panels. He went to those ones. I said, watch me shine during the marketplace. So I went up to everyone and was just like, hey, Manny, used to work for a podcast, and now I do my own thing. I met him through the podcast prior, and I was like, would you like to join a show? They're like, yes. So we're booking like people left and right. We try to have a guest on every week. And then we also try to do if we went to a card show, we do a live card show recap. And we figured that a lot of people enjoy that. A lot of people want to know how the card show was when they weren't there. And then me and Jeremy try to do a 2Thicc, just us two episode. We haven't done one in a while. We're going to do one this week. Back to our nicknames, Meat Sticks and Tummy Sweats episode. Yeah. We just hit 700.
Here's the page. Yeah, you're flying. Like, before Mint, your growth since then has been unbelievable. So
yeah,
that's credit to the fact that the both of you are really good people. If that makes, like, you're very personable, very easy to talk to. You know, you can just shoot the shit with people, but also talk business when it comes to cards at the same time. So fair bit of content here. You've had a lot of people jumping on and chatting about all sorts of things.
Yeah, since the beginning of the year, you could see like the people we've had on there. Some of them are big hitters in the hobby, but we're not like that. We want to bring everyone on. We had Sauce on for our World Cup recap, and Sauce, I don't know who you said was going to win the World Cup, but I think you said Brazil, and I think you were wrong because I said Argentina, and I think you just went a different route. But
I think I ended up giving 3 teams, but I was like, I'll go with Brazil for the sake of this, and then I was like, but these are my 3 teams, and Argentina was one of the teams, so I threw it in there, but I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Manuel.
I had to say it because Jeremy, I think, picked France, so the 2Thicc pod had the finals correct. But yeah, that like we like to do stuff like that. We want to do more like lives when there's shows and get someone, even if we didn't go to the show, have someone there. Like I told you before, people enjoy that because they get FOMO. I don't know how you guys feel when you're seeing like content at these shows and you guys aren't able to go like Mint and you seeing me take pictures with tequila and cigars at the middle of the night sending it to you guys. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
No, we love it. We love the fact that it's so good. The only thing, like, we're not like, the only thing really, like, and we're probably speaking for a lot of the community here. The only thing that makes us jealous about that, to be honest, it's not the fact that we're not there. It's the fact that we don't have something like that here. That's the only thing. That's the thing that kills us. It's like we don't have a national. Like, we got the Hobby Hangout, which is the biggest show at the moment in the country, and that's good, but it's not like an industry type setup where Panini comes out or PSA comes out with and BGS, and you have that sort of that engagement where, like, Cherry's very approachable all the time anyway. So, like, but the problem is at a card show, for example, like the Hobby Hangout, to go talk to Grayson, he's very approachable, but because he's so busy with his store, it's so hard to get him to chat to him like properly. But if there was like an industry type event, like, for example, a person like him, he'd be taken away into that type of environment, and then it gives the ability for people from other LCSs too to come in and actually speak to people from the public, and you're able to network. So we've got like EJ Cards here. So we've got Jules. He was on the panel at the Hobby Hangout. And then we got Lane from 130 Point, the Hobby AU. Like, you can talk to them, but in the thick of the show, it is so hard. It is so hard.
That's how it is with most shows except the Mint. That Mint is a different environment. Everyone sounds like or smells like they showered. You know how you go to shows and everyone's
they're all staying at the hotels, mate. So they've got no excuse. They're right close by in those nice hotels with the they provide you with soap, so there is no excuse.
Yeah,
right?
It was fun. It was fun. The cigar night / collectible. Everyone was there. I even had Blez. I was walking by him and he grabs my hand trying to dance with me. You'll probably see videos of him dancing. I was like, get away. I don't want to be on this video because he's like grabbing my hand trying to pull me into dance.
You would have been straight on as a meme.
I would be a lemon of the week for you guys.
You got the award. It would have been elite. I wish you were in that video. I genuinely wish.
What I inspire about you guys, I get jealous of you guys though, for real, because you guys don't have like the industry. You guys need PSA to come out there to get a national or some big company, but you guys seem like a tight niche group as the hobby. And here it's like the sports card hobby. The TCG is different, but the sports card hobby just seems like everyone's trying to get over on someone. There's scammers left and right.
It's like that here too. Yeah, it is like that here too. But because it's so small, it's easier to manage.
Yeah,
like, you got to think about it. Like, we always say this: we've got 27 million people in our country. Of that 27 million, we haven't got 27 million people that are in the hobby.
Yeah.
So over in the States, you've got 360 million people in your country. So you think about that, the growth is so much bigger. And the people around cards, we'll say out of 365 million people, even if we say 5 million people are into sports cards and trading cards or even TCG, because if you include TCG, it's probably even more than that. So you think a quarter or a fifth of our whole entire population are into cards in the States.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
like it's crazy. We don't have anywhere near that. So yeah, it's easier to do that and easier to network with people because you go to shows and you see the same people all the time. Well, more often than not. And it's so much easier to approach a card shop because we haven't got so many states like in the US. You go to a card show and they're all there and they're so approachable. Like Sauce said, there's a lot more that are opening up now, but they're present at all these events. So you just go there.
Some are and some aren't, and you know it will be eventually better and better as more and more take the plunge to come out to these shows and you know the one thing that I want to see more from card shops is there's plenty of card shops that like they need to come out and have singles and stuff for people, because there's a few card shops that come out and they'll just like have their boxes and things on display, but people want to buy singles and stuff like that. So I think that's the next step. You got each of these card shops coming. They're coming. They might bring a few products, but then they're bringing singles and stuff along for people to buy. So look, it's building. It's building. The show space here is building, and I think there is another one. I believe another show coming up later on the 29th. I believe it is, Tomo. I think from memory.
It's the 29th.
Yeah, it is the 29th. Saturday, the 29th of April. In Cranbourne.
Is it a Saturday?
It is a Saturday, unfortunately. Yeah, that probably clashes with his culture. He's got to play soccer. He's got to play soccer.
Since when is the show on a Saturday?
Yeah, well, this is something new from the organised down there card show.
I'm slowly becoming the more hated of the two on our podcast because Saucy's always at the card shows, and because I got shit on, and he's always there. Where's Dom? Where's Dom? Where's Dom? Soon, I said it on a podcast about a month ago, there's going to be an intervention. I'm going to get invited onto a live on Instagram, and I'm going to get bloody flamed in front of the whole community. Where you been? You've changed. You're too big for the hobby.
Yeah. Too busy trying to be Vinny Jr. instead of going to a card show. Oh, wait. Yeah, how did he break this down, Sauce? I passed it to the wingers, and then I stay back because the defenders move forward, and then I kick it from the 18. I was cracking up laughing when he was like trying to explain.
Absolute wizard, mate. All right, yeah. Don't you worry about that. And there'll be footage coming, Manny. There'll be footage coming of Doma playing live at a game some point this season. Yeah. When I don't have to travel freaking all the way out to Whoop Whoop to go watch him play, right? And there's one close by, I'll definitely go down and watch. It'll be funny. So I mean, funny to the hope that he wins and I want to see him get fired up.
I want to see him.
Saucy I want to score, and I want Sauce recording because I'm going to run straight up to that camera, and there could be a message for you from all the way over here. So
what are you going to say? You go, Sue.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to probably do that, and then drop an F so and so straight to the camera as well. Another guy that you love so much.
Oh. He's the one that said, "Don't bring up Ronaldo."
Oh, don't bring it up.
I didn't bring it up.
If we get started on this subject, we'll waste the last 15 minutes that we've got here, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. All right, we're not talking about that at all. Let's get into other card shows for yourself. Like, what's coming up next, and what have you got plans on getting to?
So the one I have absolutely planned is the National. In a couple months. It's only like a 4 hour drive for me. So it's kind of good. I don't have to go on a plane or anything, and I can take my car. So that helps. And it's not in Atlantic City this year. Atlantic City is a shithole. Don't ever go there. If you're from Australia, do not go to Atlantic City unless you want to see crackheads on the street.
Or go to Footscray if you're here.
So do not go there. I do not recommend it one bit. But yeah, so that, and then there's like the local shows. There's one that's like an hour away from us, and they have us at the show monthly. And we're trying to get to a point where we're going to go live at the show and kind of interview the dealers and see what people are buying, and also like people walking around. So we're trying to get that set up. Kind of promote that show because it's like our local show, help them out. And then there's like this Midwest monster in Indianapolis, Indiana, that's like 4 hours away from me. Um, and it's kind of got some heavy hitters in the hobby that are going there that are sponsored. It's a bigger show, like 375 tables. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go to that one. And then lastly, I was invited to go to VCon. So to help set up a dealer, Trees Collectibles, got asked to be on VCon, or asked to be one of the dealers on VCon, and asked me to go help. So I might go there.
That'd be good. That's a good one to go to.
That's what I was thinking. I told him you might want to start buying these VCon cards because the people that go there are probably V Friends holders, and they will want their cards. So he's gonna start doing that.
Yeah, but that's a good opportunity as well to get your name out there as well with content creation and get a different outlook, and also be able to upskill yourself in other things too, like on the way to promote the podcast. And so yeah, that'd be a good experience. I'd take that up as advice to you. Like I would go. So
that would be awesome. I'll definitely go to that.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you guys are making me. I gotta convince my wife to leave.
Even though we bagged, V Friends cards. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to people here that we didn't talk shit about them. We did, because they were getting artificially pumped. They were getting artificially pumped, and that was proven, because go look at the prices now, right? So we weren't saying that they weren't collectors or anything, but. If you do have the opportunity to go to VCon, you definitely go, because the ability and networking possibility, especially doing the podcast and getting your name out there, would be value. So I mean, don't get me wrong, if there was a VCon coming to to Australia, I mean, it'd be something that I would look at going to. It would be pretty cool. But we don't get those opportunities. We like to talk to you, Manny, because we like to give people in the space down here under that listen to this show that it's just another ball game in the States. Like it's just another level. You talk about the card shows. I mean, if you really wanted to, there's a card show every single weekend somewhere in America. Like you could literally go to a card show. And you can't say that in Australia. I mean, we'd be lucky to have one a month in places. I mean, we're doing good to sort of have places around that there is sort of one a month, around places in Australia. And we are more fortunate. It's more than we had before. And we're more fortunate here in, Melbourne, Victoria, where there's, probably, quite a few shows actually. From what I can tell, sort of this year, you're going to have the Hobby Hangout twice. You're going to have the Melbourne Card Show that usually runs 4 or 5 times a year. And then you have the Card Show Melbourne, which is another variant of run by a different group of people that's already going onto its second show this year. So, that's, already 10 shows, which is 10, 12 shows, which is more than what we'd have had before. So I think we're just building on that space. And we have heard some whispers, and we're not going to say anything, that there is potentially big things planned by a group of people to do something grand on a much grander scale, grander than we've seen before. And I'm hoping that means a multi-day event, because that's what I think this space needs to grow to next.
If they're talking about getting people from the States over, like that have got influence, and they might potentially pay to get them over here. I know 2 guys that I'll be dropping their names so we can get them over to Australia.
I'm bunking with you guys. You see that bed
you and Jeremy, man, 100%.
Bed behind sauce. I'm about to cuddle him right there, and I'll be at the show. I just can't. He has to protect. You guys have to protect me from your spiders and your crazy creatures.
We'll take you into Dom's backyard so you can have a punch on with the kangaroo.
That would be Jeremy after like a couple Miller Lights. Jeremy would try to fight the kangaroo, so we have to keep him away from him.
No, you're gonna need to get the VB, mate, the Victorian Bitter.
He's not gonna want to drink that shit.
Not the Millers. Yeah, well, we'll put him onto it. We'll tell him this is the.
No, we'll give him Great Northerns. We'll give him Great Northerns.
Give him that and some Red Bull, and he turns into Butterbean. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know. We know Butterbean.
I know exactly who Butterbean is.
Jeremy would think he's Butterbean and start trying to fight the kangaroos.
Oh no. All right, before we do finish up though, next, obviously, they're the card shows. What are you looking at in particular for your collection? In TCG,
what do you think? You know what I mean? I mean, we know that in terms of a few things that you've done, and you've spoken about you getting into TCG space, what's your plan of attack? Well, what's a bit of advice that you could give people that are trying to navigate to a different space, maybe find something, they're sick of getting ripped on sports cards in terms of buying boxes and cracking wax, where there's lack of opportunity. But in the TCG space, if you want to pivot a little bit, there is opportunity, because there's obviously people that collect the cards, there's people that play that game and collect those cards to make decks to play it, and that creates a more of an opportunity. So give your few tips that you would advise people that maybe want to delve into that space and introduce themselves into the TCG.
Of course. So this is kind of like I said, this is my mentor, Bro Namath. He kind of broke it down for me because I didn't understand it at first. But just think, how much did those Prism basketball boxes came out? How much is a box? Do you know off the top of your head?
The new hobbies, I think $700 USD a box.
One box. Sorry, I'm gonna put that down because I keep butterfingers. 700 a box for a Prism that says not even guaranteed 2 autos. It says something like it could potentially have 2 autos in it. So
2 autos on average,
on average,
or something like that. One auto on average, potentially 2 or something like that.
Yeah. So opening those boxes, you already know you're going to get bent over, right? You're going to know you're probably going to make like not even $100 because you could get an auto of like this no-namer. I saw someone open a box today and they got Del Curry as their auto. So how mad would you be if you got Del Curry as your auto and you paid $750 for a box? So what I do is with TCG, you got to be careful. And I would say buy the case of a TCG set. So for example, one piece right now you could buy for $700 USD for a case, $700 to $1,000 USD for a case. You're guaranteed 4 hits. And the reason I say be careful is because there's some people out there that'll try to find the hits, or they could put it in a certain area of the box. And when you're a breaker, you kind of know where that area is. They could break it, get the hits, and then sell the rest. So I advise getting the case, because for $700, you get the case, you get 4 guaranteed hits, or you get a box, a Prism, 1 box, not even a case, and get a Del Curry auto. And what Sauce was saying is there's people that actually play the game. And if you like playing the game, this is awesome for you because you'll get multiple sets of these cards. And with these sets, you could either play the game, keep one for yourself, and then sell the rest and actually grade the hits and make more profit than that 700. It's kind of like when sports cards prior to the COVID pandemic, where you could buy a box and kind of price your cards to get to your level so you don't lose money. Well, TCG is like that right now because it hasn't picked up the steam as like a sports card world. It's more of a collector base. So
yeah, and you've obviously got the opportunity to sell the lower end cards because people make decks, and you might sell those in lots or whatever it may be on eBay to people that want to create decks and actually play the TCG game. So I think people underestimate that there is quite a few people that do play these TCG games, especially when there's TCG tournaments and you've got like card shops. And I do know that there's here in Melbourne, there's card shops that are registered with that brand of cards. Say for instance, it might be One Piece, that they are a registered TCG approved tournament place where they hold tournaments. And because they hold these tournaments, they get special promo cards that they give out to the winners and people that participate in these tournaments, right? Mm-hmm. That these hobby stores get, and you only get these promo cards if you play in the tournament. So that opens up another potential collecting set for these people, and people that want to collect that certain card. And you've got people that are only interested in playing the tournament, they're not interested in collecting the card. And if there was a fee to pay enter the tournament, maybe they might sell their card to you. And I'm just talking about down here in Australia. They do that. So
here's one, Sauce. So I'll get into this. This is that world set that just happened a month ago, and it has that stamp. And when you kind of break it down, only 120 of these were made. So it's a leader set. There's 9 of them. Only 120 were made because how the tournament worked was 7 people won their region to make the Worlds. There was one spot left, and they played the tournament with the 120 people there prior to the top 8 for that last seat. So, like Sauce was saying, these are extremely rare. 120. There's probably 121 of one Justin Herbert's out there. This is the only 120. Then there's a top 8, and then you get your championship and all that. So there is potential.
Works pretty well for a pop report.
Yeah, for sure. And then
yeah, I mean, when you know that only the players who are at the tournament get that. So that and that's on a grander scale. That's and Manny's talking about World Championship, and they do World Championship, I think, of Pokemon. They do World Championship of Dragon Ball, World Championship. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing, near future Union Arena, which is sort of a new game coming out. One Piece, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of One Piece situation, something similar with One Piece. Obviously, Dragon Ball, because it's been around for a little while, so they've had the community built on that TCG game. That's why they got the Worlds. But I'm even talking about just local tournaments within your state at a card shop or that has is a verified official TCG tournament holder. So that's another level to this space, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this chat sort of opened your eyes into the TCG space, and Manny gave you a couple of little pointers, and it's something that I've spoken about on the show that I've started going into, especially Dragon Ball. Being a fan, I was like, yeah, I'm going to dive into that, and obviously the One Piece, I'm starting to learn a little bit more about One Piece and things of that, just because, I mean, we're all addicted to ripping packs, right? But there's nothing worse than, ripping those packs and feeling like that you've been bent over and, let me just say, for none lack of a word, giving it to, without no lube from the back end, red dogged, because that's what happens when you open those $700 Prism hobby boxes, mate. Let's basketball. Let's not be honest. I mean, 1 in 50 boxes you're going to hit. Like what I would say 1 in, say, 30. Let's be a little bit more generous. It's actually a bit ridiculous. So, as you said, is worth buying the box or a whole case of TCG cards that you could potentially get.
Look at this. This is prime example. Sports card, my base card, right? Kind of cool looking, right? People say it's cool looking. Base card of a TCG. Like, it just, the artwork and everything is a lot better with TCG. So you actually enjoy opening it. The cards look 10 times better. And you could tell they put so much more work on their quality than they do with like Panini and all that. So we have, I love it. I love TCG. I'm starting to get into it heavy, and I hope more people do it, because it's a way to make, if you want to make money and grow in the hobby too. You could rip boxes and have fun and actually make money. So I always lose money, so I'm gonna start trying to stay away from these sports cards. As I'm buying more of like local, like Miguel Cabrera. I'm in Michigan. He's a Hall of Famer. And like you guys said, I could go to a different state, buy them there, bring them back to my state, and sell them. So that's what I'm potentially doing more and more of, so that I can get money for cases of TCG.
I like it. Perfect. That was very well said. And thank you, Manny. We'll wrap it up there. Thanks for jumping on once again for a nice catch up. It's always our pleasure to have you come on, and we love having you on and continuing our chats from obviously Messenger in real person for our community as well. So giving them an update on stuff that's happening over in the States. So thank you for jumping on.
No, thank you. And I love your guys' community. The guy, is it Adam that does the soap? Is it Adam?
No, Matt does the soap, roll clean. Yeah, Matt.
So,
yeah.
Matt, if you are out there, if you want to, market your stuff and send me the thing, I'll pass them out at National with stinky people that just got out of their basement. I'll give them your soap left and right to people in National. And same goes with you. If you want to give me some shirts, I'll throw them out like Backyard Briggs is throwing wax out. I'll still
fight.
Exactly. So if you guys, I'll help market the Australian market. I love you guys. So I need to come down there.
You're a legend. Yeah, we really do want you to come down. But on that note, I'm Dom with the great man Sauce and our 2Thicc brother, Manny. Keep living, loving, and breathing sports double coverage, and peace.
Peace.
Peace out. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double curve.